Welcome back to Superbly Said Advanced English Vocabulary and Phrases.
Today we're diving into some material from a SpeakDuo lesson. It's all based on a really interesting discussion about how comic books can help you learn.
Yeah, and for anyone listening who wants to actually use these words right away, you should head over to SpeakDuo.com.
Right.
You can meet new people, practice on video calls, and just get so much more confident. But for now, let's jump straight into our 9 advanced vocabulary items. We're going to focus on the nuance that really separates good speakers from truly great ones.
Let's do it.
Okay, so first up, we have the adverb instinctively.
Okay.
This means doing something without conscious thought. It's, driven by a natural impulse or intuition.
Right, and I think this is a big one. A lot of learners tend to confuse instinctively with a similar word automatically. They kind of use them as the same thing.
Exactly. That's the common weakness. And the suggestion here is to really separate them. Think of automatically for habits or mechanical operations. The lights turn on automatically. But instinctively, that implies a deeper, almost primal, human response. It's based on impulse, not some learned behavior you do over and over.
So it helps to have a scenario, right? If I see a stock price drop and sell, that might be automatic if it's part of a trading algorithm.
Yeah, a pre-programmed response.
But if a CEO just instinctively knows who to trust in a room, that's all intuition.
Perfect example. So to use this in a professional context, you could say, when faced with an ethical dilemma, I instinctively revert to the company's core values. It just sounds so much stronger.
Okay, what's next?
Our second term is a verb, to sub for someone. It's short for substitute, of course, and it just means doing someone's job temporarily.
Like when a teacher is sick, I have to sub for her class.
Exactly. Now, the challenge here is knowing when to use this instead of, say, to cover for someone. People often just default to cover for because it feels safer.
It's broader, I guess.
It is. So the suggestion is to use to sub when you're talking about a very specific active replacement. It really emphasizes that you're taking on the entire role for a bit. Covering could just mean you're handling a few emails while they're at lunch.
Ah, okay. So if I ask you to cover for me, you might just watch my desk. But if I ask you to sub for me, you're running my meetings and making my decisions.
You've got it. So in a corporate setting, you could say, since our lead developer is on leave, I've had to sub for his planning meetings all week. That shows you've really stepped into that specific role.
Okay. Next up, we have the adjective unbearable.
Meaning something is just too bad, too harsh, or extreme to be tolerated.
And this gets confused with intolerable, doesn't it? They seem so similar.
They do. And that's the weakness, using unbearable for abstract moral problems.
Okay.
The suggestion is to link unbearable to extreme sensory experiences. Think pain, physical discomfort, overwhelming noise. Intolerable, on the other hand, leans more towards something morally unacceptable, an intolerable breach of conduct.
I think I see. So if the pressure from regulators is intolerable, that means it has to stop for legal or ethical reasons.
Right.
But if the noise in the factory is unbearable, it means the worker just physically can't keep going. It's about human endurance.
Yes, that's the perfect distinction. For a business example, the amount of technical debt we accumulated made the workload truly unbearable. It implies the team is at its breaking point.
All right, moving on. Phrase number 4.
A hit. This is a great idiom for something that is very successful or popular.
And the weakness here is just falling back on the generic word, a success.
Exactly. It's not wrong, but it lacks impact. It's a bit flat.
So what's the suggestion?
Use a hit when you want to convey that sense of mass appeal, commercial triumph, sudden popularity. Think movies, music, new products. A success is a formal, general, positive outcome. A hit has more punch.
Okay, so a niche indie film can be a success with critics.
Sure.
But a summer blockbuster is a hit because everyone is talking about it and lining up to see it.
Perfect. And in a speaking exam, talking about media, this is gold. You could say, regarding global media, short-form video has clearly become a major hit with younger demographics. It just captures that energy perfectly.
Okay, number 5.
The adjective dubious. It means something isn't to be relied upon. It's suspect, of questionable value.
This is a classic point of confusion. Learners often use dubious when they actually mean skeptical.
Yes, 100%. The mistake is applying the adjective to the person's state of mind.
So how do we fix that?
The suggestion is to be really strict about it. Dubious describes the thing. The claim is dubious, the evidence is dubious. Skeptical describes the person. I am skeptical of your claim.
Okay, so if I said I felt dubious about the evidence, is that just wrong?
A native speaker would understand you, but they'd also notice it's not quite right. It's much better to say, I felt skeptical of the evidence because the data seemed dubious. Now you're using both correctly.
Got it. And for an advanced example?
In finance, you could say, we need to address the dubious financial projections in this proposal. They seem completely unsupported by market data. Number 6 is the adverb inconclusively.
Meaning something ends without a firm conclusion or a clear answer?
Right. And we need to draw a really sharp line between this and ambiguously. People use them interchangeably, but they shouldn't.
They both feel a bit unclear.
They do, but the suggestion is to focus on intent. Inconclusively implies you were searching for a clear answer, a research result, a vote, but you couldn't get one. It ended in a deadlock or was deferred.
Okay.
Ambiguously means the result was probably vague on purpose. It's open to interpretation.
Ah, so a scientific study that fails to prove its point ends inconclusively.
Exactly.
But a politician's vague answer to a tough question is ambiguous.
Yes, that's it. So, in a meeting, after 3 hours, the board meeting ended inconclusively regarding the merger, leaving the team without a clear directive. The effort was there, but the result wasn't.
All right, next step.
A great verb phrase, to tackle a topic or a problem.
To make a determined effort to deal with something difficult.
Correct. And we're comparing this to a much softer verb, to approach a problem. Using approach is a weakness when you're talking about something that needs serious, immediate action.
It sounds a bit passive.
It does. The suggestion is to use the full strength of tackle. It implies determination, a direct confrontation. It's aggressive, in a good way. Approach just means you're starting to think about it.
Right. If I'm going to approach low sales, I'll look at a report. If I'm going to tackle low sales, I'm launching a full-on campaign to fix it right now.
The tone is completely different, isn't it? For strategic planning, it's perfect. Next quarter, our primary goal is to tackle the lingering customer retention issues. It frames the problem as an opponent to be defeated.
Okay, number 8.
The noun phrase, uncharted territory. This describes a situation that's completely new, never explored before.
The simpler synonym here is novel situation, but that feels a bit weak.
It's very weak. It's neutral, formal, and it tells you nothing about the feeling or the risk.
So the suggestion is to use the metaphor?
Embrace it. Uncharted territory emphasizes risk, excitement, the lack of rules. It feels like you're an explorer.
It really makes a difference. Launching a slightly new product is a novel situation.
Yeah.
But launching something with unproven tech in a brand new market, that is definitely venturing into uncharted territory.
Exactly. So if you're talking about a career shift, moving from traditional teaching to fully virtual education felt like stepping into entirely uncharted territory for many veteran educators. It captures that uncertainty perfectly.
And our final one.
The verb to tap potential, it means to manage to use something in a way that brings good results, to exploit a resource.
And the generic alternative is just to utilize.
Right. And the problem with utilize is that it's just so general. It means using anything that's available.
So what's the nuance with tap?
The suggestion is to focus on what it implies, accessing a resource that was hidden, underused, or hard to reach, like tapping into an underground spring or an untapped market. It suggests unlocking something valuable that was already there.
That makes sense. We utilize the budget we already have, but we try to tap into grant funding that we haven't reached before. It's about unlocking potential.
You got it. So for human resources, this is a great one. If we truly want to innovate, leadership must find a way to tap the immense creative potential of our junior employees. The potential is there, just waiting to be accessed.
Okay, that was a fantastic deep dive. I feel like those distinctions are much clearer now.
Good. Well, now we're going to run a quick-fire quiz to see how well you've retained these nuances.
All right, let's do it. Quiz question 1. What is the meaning of the phrase, to tackle a difficult problem?
Is it option A, To postpone the problem indefinitely.
Option B, to make a determined effort to deal with the problem immediately.
Or option C, to ask a colleague to approach the problem tentatively.
Feel free to pause here if you need a moment to think about the answer.
The correct option is B. Remember, to tackle a problem is all about confronting it head-on with determination, like our example of the government needing to tackle unemployment.
Okay, quiz question 2. If working conditions are described as unbearable, which statement is true?
Option A, they are manageable but require some adjustment.
Option B, they are extremely harsh and cannot be tolerated.
Or option C, they are mildly annoying but fundamentally acceptable.
Take a moment to consider the definition of unbearable. Remember, we linked it to sensory experience.
And the correct option is B. Unbearable means too extreme to be endured, like the desert heat being unbearable without water.
Question 3. Which action is performed instinctively?
Option A, spending an hour planning your quarterly budget.
Option B, reading a complex technical manual before starting a new job.
Or option C, shielding your face when a sudden bright light flashes in your eyes.
Okay, you have a few seconds to recall the core meaning of instinctively.
The correct option is C. Instinctively means acting without conscious thought, driven by that natural impulse, just like shielding your face. It's not a planned or learned action.
All right, question 4. In the media industry, if a show is referred to as a hit, what does this imply?
Option A, it was subject to some intense but minor criticism.
Option B, it is very successful and popular globally.
Or option C, it ended without leading to a clear conclusion.
Pause here if you need to review the idiom, a hit.
The correct option is B. A hit is our idiom for something that is wildly successful and popular, just like that new restaurant we talked about. That was a hit because everyone wanted to go.
Okay. Question 5. Why might a financial advisor consider a client's valuation of a small company dubious?
Option A. The valuation is highly ethical and well supported by evidence.
Option B. The valuation is unreliable, suspect, or of questionable truth.
Or option C. The advisor is skeptical about the market but trusts the figures.
Remember what the word dubious describes: the thing or the person.
The correct option is B. If a claim is dubious, it's unreliable. Option C is a trick, because if the advisor felt that way, they would be skeptical, but the figures themselves would be dubious.
Question 6. A scientific study that ends inconclusively has reached what outcome?
Option A. It has produced multiple clear, definitive results.
Option B. It ended without leading to a firm conclusion or clear answer.
Or option C. It clearly established the original hypothesis as fact.
Feel free to pause and think about how inconclusively relates to certainty.
The correct option is B. Inconclusively means ending without that firm conclusion you were looking for, like the debate that ended inconclusively with no winner.
And our last one, question 7. When an organization ventures into uncharted territory, what best describes this new area?
Option A, a field of activity that is familiar and highly established.
Option B, a highly regulated and safe domain with clear rules.
Or option C, a situation or area of activity that is completely new and unexplored.
Think about the metaphor here, the feeling of exploration and risk.
The correct option is C. Uncharted territory is all about something completely new and unexplored, like our example of using AI in medicine being largely uncharted territory. We covered some really powerful ground today, didn't we?
Dissecting instinctively to sub, unbearable, a hit. Dubious, inconclusively, to tackle uncharted territory and to tap potential. I think the big takeaway is about specificity.
For sure. Moving past generic words like utilize or success and finding that precise, high-impact word is what really defines advanced communication.
Exactly. And remember, all this came from a SpeakDuo lesson. So knowing the theory is one thing, but you've got to apply it.
Absolutely. To really secure these skills, you have to use them. So check out the next Connect and Practice session over at SpeakDuo.com.
And if you enjoyed this detailed breakdown, please take a moment to leave us a 5-star review. It really helps.
Until next time, keep refining that vocabulary.